is one, I like to discuss relationship. And two, I like to discuss training. There is a, we understand as we continue to talk about, we are in the relationship business. We are in the relationship business. And being in the relationship, if there's no trust, then the relationship will suffer. Are you guys hearing me? If there's no trust, then the relationship will suffer. In Wakana, there is some things, everything that we do is necessitated by way of trust. Our core, our products, which is our main thing. Our main thing is our products. Those products, people are entrusting us to put in their bodies. And they're entrusting us that when they put it in their bodies, it's going to do what it says that it can do. That's a trust factor. So I want us to always be careful, whether we're looking to get a new customer, whether you're looking to get a new business builder. I want you to be careful to make certain that in the process of getting new customers, in the process of developing relationships with new builders, I want you to be very careful, watch this now, to make certain that you are developing a foundation of trust. Many of our standard client objections that you'll receive in this business or any business is a standard client objection of trust. I don't know if I can trust this. I'll give you an example. One of my fraternity brothers, by which, watch this, I've never met. He is a fraternity brother of mine. He is a client of mine that I've never met. However, from the time of our first conversation, he has done over $60,000 worth of business with me. And the reason that he's done this, and I've never met him in over a year, is because through our developing a relationship over the phone, watch this now, we also developed trust to the point where he said, hey, I'm not going to use anybody else. Frat, I trust you to lead the way. I've never met him. But here's something that took place. We did a bid for $250,000. Well, that was probably 8 months ago. Once he finally secured his financing and things of that nature, we get on a call with the bank. The bank says, hey, you need to consider this, you need to consider this, you need to consider this. The city of Chicago comes up with a new plumbing code that mandates a certain thing that's going to cost an additional 20-something thousand. So by the time it's time to get the job done, what was once $250,000 has moved to $330,000. And now, because of that significant number, there is a question of trust. So we have to go back in and reaffirm the relationship. Now he has to do his due diligence to speak back with the bank, to make certain that with the bank that what we're building for and all of those things is accurate. Because no matter how tight you may be, if there's something that pops up in the relationship that causes you, that causes one to question whether or not they can trust, then literally what's going to take place is this. You're going to have to pull back, reestablish the relationship in order to move forward, or that relationship is splintered. There's another client, same scenario, well, different scenario. They spent $200,000 with us. Watch this. They vowed that they will never do business with any other company but ours. And while I was out of town, they needed their grass cut and the yard cleaned out. So my person that works for us wasn't available. So my assistant called someone else. That person came back and I was gone. So she gave them the quote of like $900 or $1,100, something like that. Well, they said, hold off. They did their own due diligence. And as a result, they were able to get it done for $400. Guess what? The very next thing that popped up that I was involved in, that I do, they wind up, which was cabinetry, they wind up questioning the prices and all of that stuff, and basically told me, they said, well, because of this, we feel like now we got to second guess everything. Now, we work through that because they know that I don't cut grass. But the relationship was potentially hindered because of a lack of trust. Now we're all lovey-dovey, whatever. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because even as we come up to the Legacy Conference, one of the things that the Legacy Conference is going to do is going to help your existing customers, new customers, and potentially new business builders. It's going to help you establish a foundation of trust. There's 4 things that's needed in order to build trust in a relationship as I get ready to bring this to a close. I'll take 1 minute for each one. The first thing that you're going to need to establish trust in a relationship, the first thing you're going to need is communication. There must be communication. You're going to have to communicate with your business builders. You're going to have to communicate with your customers. And you have to communicate clearly. You're going to have to communicate concisely. You're going to have to communicate effectively. You have to communicate to the point where there's a body of understanding. The second thing that there must be is transparency. Don't ever say something or do something or not disclose something because because of the fact that you're trying to get the sale. You must have a certain level of transparency, because when there's a certain level of transparency, that transparency alone helps to develop trust. Transparency like this. You know what? You never tried the product, this particular product. You don't know if that product works or not for yourself. So rather than saying, I know this product is going to help you do this, you can't really say it because you don't know because you've never tested it. You can say in full transparency, what I've heard from others is that this product helps with this. I have not tried it for myself. However, you see what I'm saying? Or like with this other client that I'm dealing with, I said this line item came in at the cost on your bid is $12,000 and some change. However, 15% of that is my profit. What I'll do is discount my profit and you'll just pay what it is. I'm now telling the clients how much profit I'm making on the job. It builds a certain level of transparency. Are you guys understanding? And so this is something that you must do. Number one, you must communicate. Number two, you must have certain level of transparency. Do not make promises that you yourself cannot keep. Don't promise them they're going to make $1 million in a year or $1 million in 6 months. Don't make promises that you yourself know that you cannot keep, right? So number one, communication. Number two, transparency. Number three, as many of you heard before, you're able to build trust. You're able to build relationship by making certain that you are actively relating to those that you are working with. That means there's times where you come together. I remember Minister Mooney used to do game night, just stuff like that. What did that do? It made the business, watch this, it made the business not just about business, but it created a community. So people stay within your community, not necessarily because they're making all of the money, but they stay within the community. They keep because of the community itself, because of the relationship that has been built. The next thing is sacrifice. Sometimes you got to sacrifice something to get something. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice something in order to get something. Sometimes you may sacrifice samples. Sometimes you may sacrifice bottles. Sometimes you may sacrifice helping someone to get in a business that you've already vetted and know that if they were in the business, not only are you helping them, but you're going to help yourself. These are the tools that you need in order to be successful. You must be able to establish a relationship, and you must be able to develop trust. And legacy conference, this legacy conference is going to be just the thing that will be able to help you take that to the next level. Listen, I trust and pray that there was something that was said today that helps you take your business to the next level. Help you take all relationships that you engage in, whether it's business and or otherwise, to the next level. And I trust and pray that today, wherever you are in the country, if you're in Chicago with me and it's raining, I trust that your rain will personally cause some things to grow in your life. It's been a plum pleaser. And I want to wish you guys a supernatural Wakana kind of day. Until next time, as always, prosper.